Hi, welcome to my tutorial on simplifying expressions. If we have a look here, we've got three examples, and if we have a look at the first one, we've got three terms, and in those terms we've got powers or indices. Now, rules for indices are as follows. Our first rule, the multiplying rule. If you've got x to the a times x to the power of b, that becomes x to the a plus b. So for our first one here, we're timesing three indices together. So we're going to add our powers. However, when we've got coefficients in front of the x term, we must multiply those out as well. So we multiply the coefficients to give us 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 3 is 24. So we write 24. And then what we need to do is we need to add our index terms together. So 3 add 7 is 10, add 4 is 14. So our answer becomes 24x to the 14. Second one. This time we've got our multiplication law here at the top, but we're also dividing. Look at the second rule here. When you're dividing indices, if you've got x to the a divided by x to the b, it becomes x to the a take away b. So here, we're going to do this in stages. We'll do the top bit first, using our first rule. 8 times 3 is 24. And then 6 add minus 5 just takes us to 1, which is 24x to the power of 1. We don't need the 1 because if it's to the x to the 1, that's just 24x. But then we've still got to divide that by 6x to the 3. Now, initially, when I said we don't need the 1, we don't write it with the 1, but sometimes it's a good idea to put it in there because then it makes it easier to see what you're subtracting. Because we've got our division law there where we take away the index numbers. So we divide our coefficients, 24 divided by 6 is 4, but then we subtract our indices. 1 take away 3 is to the negative 2. 4x to the negative 2. Last one then. This time we've got a division rule, but we've also got this new rule here, rule 3, the powers law. The powers law states that if you've got x to the a to the power of b, it becomes x to the a times b. So here, we can have a look at that. If you've got, let's say you've got x to the 2, and then you've got that raised to the 3. The reason this works is as follows, because this is really x to the 2 times x to the 2 times x to the 2. So if I write that down, x to the 2 times x to the 2 times x to the 2, we can see we've got our multiplication law where we add these together, which gives you x to the 6. But obviously it's a lot easier to multiply these terms together to get x to the 6. So for this one here, on the top, we've got 4a squared to the power of 3. So that means we've got to do 4a squared times 4a squared times 4a squared. Well, the first thing you've got to deal with is coefficient, because that has to be cubed. So 4 times 4 times 4 gives you 64. So on the top, we get 64a. Now use your powers law, 64a to the 6. And then on the bottom, we've got 4a cubed to the power 2. Use your powers law here. So the first thing you need to do is do 4 squared, which is 16. And then use your powers law, 16a to the 6. Now we can use our division law. 64 divided by 16 gives you 4. And it becomes a to the 6, take away 6, is a to the 0. Now anything raised to the power of 0 is 1. So this bit here is really just 1. So then if we finish this off, we're going to have 4 times 1, which gives us our final answer of 4.